It's another world here in the Treptow Memorial Park. Those of you who've been to East Berlin might have visited this area. It's the Soviet War Memorial in the Great War of Liberation. It's another world really, and thinking about the Soviets and being in East Berlin, thinking about the East Germans set me off about how I got into rowing, and particularly about the things in my mind that I kind of took for granted that probably acted as a block, I think, in my later career, particularly around when I was in the Olympics in 1984 and becoming Olympic champion. The thing that was in my head, and very strongly for some time before 1984 and even after we won Olympic gold, was that I wasn't good enough to be an Olympic champion. I wasn't somehow a proper Olympic champion. Even I remember going to the 1984 Olympics and my aim was not to win an Olympic gold medal. It's a bit odd being in a crew with three guys whose aim was to win an Olympic gold medal. For me, I was desperate not to lose that race, desperate not to let anybody down. But why was that? Well, in part the answer lies in this place here. When I was growing up, it was the Soviets, it was the East Germans who dominated the sport. In the fours, which was my event, they won every single medal going. The East Germans were the top crew. The Russians sometimes won the gold medal. If you wanted to get in amongst the Eastern Bloc, and we knew they were on sort of professional regimes and taking drugs and that, you know, you had to do something special. To get into the final was great. For me, going into the sport as a youngster, I had no thought of winning or gold medals. Getting a medal was the highest possible achievement. Fortunate enough to happen in the Worlds of 78, 79 and the Olympics of 1980. We got a bronze medal behind the Soviet crew and the East Germans who won. For me, it was easy to stand on that third rung of the podium. I kind of thought, that's my level, that's great. I could look up to the guys, the East Germans, deserved Olympic champions, fantastic rowers. Me, I just wasn't in that class. I could win medals. That mindset produces problems. It produced problems for me, particularly when I got into that crew in 1984 with guys like Steve Redgrave, Andy Holmes and Richard Budgett. They didn't have my hang-ups. They'd seen people like me come through and win medals. Little guys, 1 metre 85, 6'1". What's he doing win an Olympic medal? You know, if he can do that, then I could do something better. Of course, rightly, they had set their sights much higher. For them, it wasn't such a big deal to think they could beat the East Germans, the Soviets. They could be Olympic champions. That was a big, big jump for me, and I'm not sure that I ever really challenged myself enough that I was good enough to be Olympic champion. I'm not really sure I had the coaching expertise to help me challenge that, and it's something that stayed with me for quite a while. So it did mean that going into that race in 1984, we had a kind of different motivation within the crew. I know that's the case sometimes in a lot of boats, but I think it might have been a lot better for our crew if that had been an issue dealt with, that had been out in the open. Why I'm really talking about it today in this location is I think a lot of us have tracks in our mind that we think of what our potential is, what our capacity is, what our capability is, and they're based on things that are probably, you know, quite sensible, as it was quite sensible for me to think that Soviets and East Germans won everything in the world of the past. Of course, things change, we change, situations change, and the assumptions we used to make about what was true in the past, they're no longer true in the present. But it's difficult for us sometimes to see ourselves in that new world, to look at things differently, to take on new challenges. And I guess the message here in the old world of the Soviet War Memorial to everyone that wants to look at this is, what do you need to do to look at yourself in a different light? What support do you need? Who do you need to talk to? What challenges are out there which, if you had a different belief, might be open to you? Think about it.